posted on YouTube. I also saw the footage of The Rock and Batista confronting one another, and the footage of Batista and Brock Lesnar confronting one another. What really irritates me with WWE and WWE's YouTube channel is they'll post all this exclusive footage and tease us these potential matches at WrestleMania or SummerSlam that could potentially happen in the way of dream matches, but we never see these dream matches. Whatever happened to CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin? Whatever happened with something being done with that? How come we never saw Batista and Brock Lesnar from 2014's WrestleMania 30? How come we have never seen Goldberg versus Ryback? How come we have never seen and probably never will see Sting versus The Undertaker? Because there still is that little bit of doubt that has to be in your mind about how we could possibly never see this match because of some circumstance that we probably don't even know about that's an underlying issue. There's always got to be that little bit of doubt. So that's why I hate WWE posting this exclusive footage either on the app or their YouTube channel or use it for the network. It irritates me. It also irritates me how they leave things for the network and the follow to pay-per-views like WrestleMania and SummerSlam now just to have you to subscribe to the network. I really hate that nothing is ever followed through with WWE. And this is why I've been blaming Triple H in recent weeks on my YouTube channel and for my written column and this corner with Jonathan Clarke for a various number of things. One of the things I've been blaming Triple H for is the fallout of WrestleMania 31, even more so with him defeating Sting, and how the ratings in WWE have hit an all-time record low. And I say that because Triple H never follows through with anything the piece of shit promises us, especially over the last at least 2 years. If anything, if you're an executive member of the board in WWE, why in the fuck don't you ever follow through with anything? Why are you always teasing these dream matches, like triple threat matches between yourself, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker at WrestleMania, or Brock Lesnar and Batista, but we never ever see these matches come into fruition? It's time to start following through with things you're either teasing or promising to WWE fans. I go back to 2014, within the first 1 to 2 weeks of last year. He promised that 2014 would be unlike anything we have ever seen as WWE fans and members of the WWE Universe. What the fuck happened in 2014 that was actually worth talking about? The break of the Shield, Daniel Bryan becoming champion, and The Undertaker's streak ending at WrestleMania after 2 decades of dominance over 21 years. That's all that really happened in the finale of 2014 when you look back at the highlights of that year. Nothing ever momentous happened in 2014, so why make all these false promises and commitments to WWE fans, and in turn the only thing you're accomplishing as an executive member of the board is you're letting people down? It could be time to find a replacement for Triple H. Hint to Vince McMahon there, because he's the reason for these all-time record lows. He's the reason why WWE is getting so much criticism, and he's the reason why everything is just so fucked up in the business now, and I just hate him for that. I think that the WWE would be a far better place without Stephanie McMahon running these pointless storylines about romantic situations and superstars being infatuated with one another and just storylines that are going nowhere, and Triple H calling the shots. It just really irritates me how Triple H is calling the shots and getting away with so many things. And I think this is why Sting should have came out on top of the match at WrestleMania 31, because so many people bought that pay-per-view. At least over half of the 1 to 2 million buys WrestleMania got this year, at least over half of those 1 to 2 million buys tuned in to WrestleMania 31 to see Sting win the match and were pissed off in the follow to WrestleMania. And what gave it away was that Sting was getting the better of Triple H so much leading into the match, and Triple H had to come out with the win. Obviously, with assistance from Shawn Michaels and DX, the cripple has been HBK, benefiting Triple H like he has so many times in the past, especially when Triple H was just an upstart talent in WWE in 97 trying to make a name for himself, and he was riding the coattails of Shawn Michaels. And yes, I went there because that's true. He was riding the coattails of Shawn Michaels, and if not for that, Triple H probably would have never paid his dues and gotten anywhere in WWE, and that's what frustrates me even more. For years, Triple H rode the coattails of many people, as he has the McMahons, to get in the position that he's in right now as COO of the WWE. I mean, give me a fucking break. He's the reason why all this is happening and why we never see anything come into fruition in WWE, and it's time for him to either back down or do something about these promises that he's making, these false promises and commitments which are never followed through with. And this is why we'll probably never see Goldberg and Ryback. And this is why we'll probably never see Sting and Undertaker. And if we do, we'll be waiting years to see it, because Sting and Undertaker are never there all the time, and we can't always rely on Sting and Undertaker to give us a 5-star match or a potential award nomination or award winning for a match of the year. We have to go to John Cena and Randy Orton to rely on that all the time, and I understand the concept that we have to change with the times. As Vince McMahon said for the Greatest Wrestling Manager of the 80s DVD, when he said, we have to change with the times because they unfortunately have changed and we have to change with them. And I think truer words have never been spoken by a promoter. But the thing is, we always crave for these dream matches between two veterans, people who've accomplished above and beyond the requirements of an in-ring performer. And I think that, Sting and Undertaker would be a great match, just as Ryback and Goldberg would be a great match. But the downside of all of this is, the fact is, what the reality is, we're never going to see this match happen, these matches happen, because if we were going to see these matches happen, they would have happened a long time ago. As I said here earlier, whatever happened to CM Punk and Stone Cold? Whatever happened with anything being done with that? Whatever happened to the third rumored match between The Rock and John Cena, the tiebreaker, which we never saw, Batista and Goldberg? So many times over the years, matches have been promised and things have been promised that have never been followed through with. And this is just one of these situations where it could never be followed through with, and we could probably never see it at either a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. My prediction would be Goldberg running through Ryback, and I wish it wasn't that way. I think Ryback, posing a threat to Goldberg would make the match more unpredictable, but obviously he's not going to, because he's just been compared to Goldberg so many times. Fans were chanting Goldberg within weeks of Ryback being repackaged, formerly known as Skip Sheffield, from the Nexus back in 2010. They took him off TV, brought him back as Ryback, and he was running through competition, and then he was being compared to Goldberg. With how many times he's been compared to Goldberg as Gilberg was, kind of a mockery of Goldberg, in 2002-2003, when Goldberg just destroyed Gilberg in a mockery match that lasted about a minute to a minute and a half before Goldberg destroyed him. With how he's been compared to Goldberg so many times and been chanted Goldberg so many times to wars, those chants being directed to Ryback in a very insulting way, I think that Goldberg would just look at it as, hey, this is WWE's latest way of mocking my career, my legacy with World Championship Wrestling. I'm going to come in and run through him, and that's it. I'm going to go on to achieve something far greater with my career, and that's what I see happening if this match were to take place. I'll give it about maybe 10 minutes with Ryback getting one or two moves in on Goldberg, and then Goldberg coming out with the spear, followed by the jackhammer, and the win for Goldberg. That's pretty much how I see this one going. I don't see it being a match that goes back and forth momentum like The Rock and John Cena from WrestleMania 28, 29, that duplex, that double feature, if you would, with so many close calls. If anything, 10 to 15 minutes tops, Goldberg wins the match. It's over and done with, and we never hear anything done on it or a follow-up done with it ever again. Goldberg goes on to achieve more, and we probably never see Ryback ever again. If we do, he's repackaged as somebody else, as he has many times over the years. I mean, he's had so many characters given to him, from Tough Enough in 2004, the Silverback, to Skip Sheffield, to Ryback. Nothing creatively has ever been done with Ryback. Ryback still seem to be going somewhere as a tag team, and look what Curtis Axel is doing now, mocking Hulk Hogan. And Ryback is continuously being compared to Goldberg, just as the Big Show has been compared to Andre the Giant, but in a far different category, in a far more worse way than what the Big Show has been compared to Andre the Giant over the years. But I mean, if something was going to be done between Goldberg and Ryback, wouldn't you think, or wouldn't you have thought by now something would have been done, at least up to this point? It doesn't seem to be going anywhere or going anywhere anytime soon, and that's really unfortunate. And hey, I really feel for you wrestling fans out there who want to see these dream matches. I want to see The Undertaker versus Sting, for fuck's sake, more than I have anything in the wrestling business. And that's why I've been campaigning for this match week in and week out on this fucking YouTube show, been tweeting out the videos on Twitter, been talking about it on Facebook at facebook.com/HEW Entertainment, been writing about it for my column in this corner with Jonathan Clarke, been posting teaser blogs on Google Blogger for Cheap Shots with Jonathan Clarke and HEW Entertainment, which has thousands of page views. And no matter how many thousands of page views I rack up, with no matter how many thousands of views I get on YouTube, how many downloads I get in the audio archives in a radio form on our website, I can never get these dream matches to go off in WWE, and I wish I could. I wish I could benefit you all. But hey, at least can you blame a guy for trying all these years? 16 years I've been doing it. We've only seen a handful of dream matches, and you wonder, whatever happened to some of these dream matches that we were predicting maybe 5-6 years ago that still we are waiting on, and we are still, at the end of the day, no matter how much we talk about it, waiting on Goldberg versus Ryback. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to archive this video for you on our Facebook page at facebook.com/HEW Entertainment, on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1, and I will throw it up for you on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/JonathanClarke22, where if you subscribe to us now at JonathanClarke22, you get over 1,000 videos we have uploaded in our video archives on our YouTube channel as well. You'll get featured popular videos and some of our more downloaded video commentaries, and you can leave your opinion in the comments of this week's video talking about Ryback versus Goldberg. Do you want to see this match? Are you giving it a thumbs up? Or are you giving it a thumbs down because we've seen so many dream matches over the years that really haven't gone the way that we wanted to see them go, like The Rock and Goldberg, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, which is another match that I expected to be a big match, and it was nothing, with Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning both of them being the biggest highlight to come out of the match. That was fucking ridiculous. The Rock and John Cena having 2 matches done was pointless. What do you want to see done? What is the next dream match you wrestling fans want to see as members of the WWE Universe? What are you telling the McMahons and Triple H to do as executive members of the board? Are you telling them to do something about what we want? Or are you telling them to get the fuck out of WWE? I want to know, so let us know on our Facebook page at facebook.com/HEW Entertainment, and on Twitter at JonathanClarke1. I want a Triple H gone for what feels like forever because he's not doing anything. It's time for him to get off the pot and do something about what's going on, the proverbial high horse he's been riding on, because he doesn't seem to be doing anything that we want. I've wanted him gone for some time, and he doesn't seem to be going anytime soon. But it may be time for him to go because he's not doing anything to benefit us as wrestling fans. And as wrestling fans, you know, he may say we don't know anything about politics in the wrestling business, but I say this: it's time for him to get off the high horse, because wrestling fans on the internet know more about politics than we're ever given credit for, especially fans who follow the indie circuit. Well, I can never put over enough on this show, because you guys know some of the most when it comes to wrestling fans. And the thing about WWE is we're just people who are nerds behind keyboards who don't know anything about wrestling. And I give you a profound amount of credit, because you guys are some of the smartest wrestling fans out there, some of the smartest fanatics we have out there, who know more about politics than someone like Triple H and Stephanie will ever give you credit for. But the thing is, we know what's best for business. It's just a matter of WWE finally listening to us and giving us what we want. Is it time